do not blame or feel guilty for where you are. If your relationship is extremely toxic, people don't change for anybody, people change for themselves. Do you have a plan? What is the plan, people? There's a very powerful verse, a verse of wisdom that I believe transformed my life when I read this verse, because it gave me the insight and the foundation to understand relationship. And I hope by giving the scripture here to you and these words of wisdom, you'll be able to understand it the way I did. Here's the scripture. It comes from a book of Proverbs, and it's in if you want to find it, it's in Proverbs 24:3-4, and it says this: by wisdom a house is built, by understanding it is established. By knowledge, the rooms are filled with precious and pleasant gifts. The core reason why your relationship is not working, and matter of fact, I've got a free ebook for you. I'll put a link in the bio, and those who are interested in the free ebook, it's 5 reasons why your relationship is not growing, and this will give you insights on why your relationship is breaking down literally left, right, and center. Now let's get back to it. Now, we just talked about three different things here: wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. And that's a secret. I'm gonna give you 5 actions for you to go about dealing with a toxic relationship. Number 1, do not blame or feel guilty for where you are. See, a lot of the time we stay in the cycle because of guilt. And when you start feeling guilty for where you are, you start blaming everybody for where you are. And when you start blaming this can only worsen the relationship. First, when you realize, okay, hold on, I'm going through a toxic relationship, it takes 2 individuals for a relationship to function. So we both need to take responsibility. So the way to take responsibility is first to sit down and say, what is the foundation of this relationship? Do you even know what the relationship is founded on? If your relationship is founded on skin alone and looks alone, kindingi, get out of there. This requires you to sit with your partner and say, hold on, what's the foundation of our relationship? Are we actually willing to work through it? What is it gonna take to go from point A to point B? The second thing is this: if your relationship is extremely toxic, you need time and space. The reason why you need time and space is this, is so that you may take that time and that space to rediscover yourself without the impact and the effect of the emotion that comes from being around somebody else. That's what it's all about. It's about you taking that time to discover you, because a relationship is only as great as 2 individuals. And if the relationship is only as great as 2 individuals, if the individuals can understand who they are, it makes it much more easier for the other to also understand them, and they can guide the other on how they want to be treated, how they want to be respected, what they value. But if you don't know how you want to be treated, you don't know how you want to be respected, you don't know what you value, you end up compromising on everything. And you can only find that and discover that in the time and space away from your partner. Now, another thing is you have to decide. This is a decision now. You have to decide to go on a journey to gain some self-love. Self-love is important, yo. You cannot lose yourself in the process of gaining another. You have to get to a point where you love the self so much, not in an egoistic way, not in an arrogant way, but in a point where you respect yourself enough to know that this is what I want and this is where I'm heading, and I'm only willing to tolerate this. If marriage is not what somebody else wants, it's what you want, why are you still sticking there? Hoping that they will change, they will wake up to the idea of it. Nonsense. People don't change for anybody, people change for themselves. You need to understand what your purpose is, you need to understand what you value, and understanding how you can serve the world. And by doing so, you hear a story all the time of people coming in and saying, oh, when I stopped looking for a perfect relationship, I stopped looking for a good relationship, the relationship came to find me. Well, how does that happen? Well, that happens when people they discover what their gift is, and they go on with a passion and serving people. And in the process of serving and finding out who they are, they just attract that which deserves them, that which is vibing with the same similar kind of frequency and energy. So you have to go on a journey of self-discovery and gain self-love. Another point is this: you need a plan. If you're in a toxic relationship, do you have a plan? What is the plan, people? And the plan could go 2 ways. And the first plan should be this: how do we improve it? You both might be willing to work on it, because we both come from each and every one of us come from toxic background, and we have trauma and we have things we're dealing with. And if you have two individuals who recognize, because that's a hard bit to do, who recognize where they're from and are willing to work through it, there is no reason that you just separate in one go. And I'm a strong believer in that. If people have the will to fight through, to have each other, and I'm talking not fight through physically, I'm not talking just emotionally, that's nonsense. You have to self-love. You have to gain knowledge, people. There's a scripture that says, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. You're not destroyed because you don't love them. You're destroyed, your relationship is in crashing mode because you lack knowledge and how to utilize it effectively. So you need a plan. You need to come in and seek help. That is the last option. The last point here is you need to get help. And so there's individuals like myself who is a life and relationship coach and neuro-linguistic practitioner, and we have tons and tons of ways to help you going through whatever you're going through. A life coach is here. I'm right here. I'm gonna put a link down in the bio, and go ahead and reach out to us. I'm willing to help you to get out of this toxic relationship, so that two things can happen. Either your relationship will be transformed if both individuals are willing to work through it, or you'll be transformed so you can be able to attract the quality of relationship you deserve. Peace out.